There are many different designs of a title. You could have something from just adding a text. You could have different ways of having you can just put the border on a text box. We can fill in a shape, or we can add some more different fun shapes over here. So, for example, I'll show you a couple of quick types of titles if you would like, and you can go make. Now, one type of title, what you could do is you could go to the shape, make a very simple, and what you could do is if you off-center a rectangle, then you can, it might look really nice. Then it kind of looks like it's coming in here. You can make it even a little bit larger if you like. Now, it gives you that default blue, but notice down here you have your other colors. So we can have a nice gray. You can make it even a little bit bigger if you like, a little bit smaller. I wouldn't do it a whole lot bigger than that, because remember, we need space for our information. That would be a great space for a title, and then in the next video we'll talk about fonts. Another option is you can make this in the middle if you wanted, something like that. We can add our fonts there, or any of our text. If I add different shapes, I can also make this. Now, if I kept this like this, and I click copy, and now I paste it, I have two different rectangles. Now, if I make one of these, like the one in the front, a different color, now it kind of looks kind of fun. It has a little background, like a shadow there. You could even change the places, like if you want the shadow below, you can change places, and now just by adding that, it looks like it has a shadow. It looks really nice. Another option you could have in there is add another shape, and there are many different types in here. So you could have different kinds of banners. Like here's a banner, so I could delete any of those, and now if I make them larger, if I make a mistake, I use the undo, and I can pull it out, and that's kind of a fun banner in there that we could have. You could also layer on top of it another shape. I can put a rectangle in there. I can change the color to one of the ones I've chosen. I want to make sure that the border isn't on, and then that could be kind of a fun background too. Or I could build a different one. Like notice how this one has kind of almost two shapes, a rectangle and a triangle. So if I have a shape like this, I could add another shape at the end. So if I go back to my shape, I can add a triangle. Now if I go to this circle at the top, so that there are no arrows, I can turn, and I could add this to the end. Now notice, right now it's not quite there, so I can just make it, I'm going to take off the border, make it the same color, and then if I just make it a little bit larger. Now if it's not quite what you want, if we zoom in and turn off the zoom now, you can make it go exactly to the end. There, and if we go back here, it'll bring us back to what we have. So here's a different way. Now if I want them to stay together, I'm going to click, hold down the control button, hold down the other one, and I'm going to group them together. So now they'll always be together if I move them. If I like this shape, I could copy it, paste it, turn it around to 100 and 270. I could put it on the other side. If you want two sides to have that same shape, again I could hold down the control and I can group these together so I can put that anywhere I want. Okay, one more, the last one I'll show you is how do you make something kind of like this. So we're going to use two of the same techniques I've already showed you. So this time we're going to make a new shape. So I need an arrow, this one that kind of looks like with like a ribbon. Okay, I want to use the same color I've been using before. Now, the other thing I want to do is, I'm kind of missing some space here. So what I can do is now I'm going to add another shape, add a rectangle. And we're going to group them together. So I'm going to click, hold down the control and click. And I'm going to right click and say group. Now they're one. So now I can put this kind of up. If you notice, this one kind of starts right about here. So you can think about proportion. Now if I right click on this, I can say order. I can send this to the front. But I'm still kind of missing that triangle. So last thing I need to do is now add a triangle. Now again, I'm going to have to turn this around. And I kind of want that space that's right here, that kind of, if I look at an imaginary line, that's going to kind of make the imaginary end of that line and kind of come right here in this corner. So in this one, I can make it like a different color, like a lighter green. But again, that's going to kind of blend in with this, so we don't want that. So what I've done is I've chosen the gray, but now if I go to the bucket and I go to custom, this is right here. So if I just go up a little bit, it's going to make it just a tiny bit lighter. So that when we look at it, it kind of looks like it's a little bit lighter. Or, if you can do it lighter, you can also do it just a teeny bit darker too if you want. So you could try seeing what does a lighter look like or what does a darker than the color look like. And it kind of offers that nice shadow. So that's kind of cool. So see how it looks like it's folded, but all we did was added a triangle there. So I can do the same thing. If I right click copy, paste, I have my triangle for this side, and this one, copy, paste. Now if I flip it around so that it's exactly flat, I can now put this on the other side. Now notice that red line means they're exactly the same place, same height. If I move it up, that line goes away. Okay, if I put it in, it can give me the exact place that I need it to be. Same thing if I turn this around. If I right click, I'm going to rotate it horizontally. And again, I can add this shape right there. I'm going to send this. And now I have a nice banner that I'm ready to write with. So those are some options for you if you'd like it. Choose whatever you want and go ahead.